Hi everybody, welcome to the second segment, episode 217 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we are going to talk about things you need to know when pursuing your dream home.
And it's interesting that home ownership is really, there's a couple of things about it that everybody talk about or think about, and there are really kind of four top motivators to buy a home. One is people think the cost of renting is too high.
I agree with that
which,
right now.
Our rent market has just gone nutso. Number two is that buying a home or buying real estate in general is such a great wealth building tool because
Absolutely.
you hedge against inflation, you get the appreciation, you get the tax benefits, all of those things. 16% of the people have a sense of security that they feel they're going to have once they buy a home. And then last of all was 37% of the people interviewed for this said they were going to be using that home as an investment property at some point. And again, trying to create that financial wealth that real estate can do.
And it is. The other thing too that it doesn't point out is that it's easy to buy a house in Dallas and really in the United States. One of the guys that we play pickleball with is from London, and he was saying that to buy a house, it takes 9 to 10 months in London from start to finish. And here, we can do it in 19 days or less if you've got cash. So things move.
They do. And, I think that one of the great things that our government did many, many years ago was set up a Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, where they would be the secondary market to buy these mortgages, because prior to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the banks had to hold on to those mortgages. And so they would, potentially be holding a low interest rate mortgage for, the average was, I think, 7 to 9 years. And it really limited the amount of money the banks had to lend to the next person because they had nowhere to sell those mortgages.
Absolutely. And the other thing too is think about how tough it was if you were not from that area to get a bank from a local a loan from a local bank. So good things have changed.
Yeah, and that is, excuse me, and that is one of the things, excuse me, and that's one of the things that really is one of the two things, and so that mortgage process can be so intimidating.
It can be, but it really isn't. So many things have changed in the mortgage industry. Just in the 8 to 10 years that we've been here in Dallas doing this, or I have, before you had to submit and resubmit all your documents to the lender. And today they're able to access your accounts and just pull that directly out, which is a huge help. I mean, just aggregating all the data, I think, sometimes is just so overwhelming for people.
Yes, it is. And then if one piece gets lost, they ask for it again, and it frustrates people. The other part of it that is somewhat intimidating is that there are a lot of myths around how much you need to have to be able to buy a house. And so it's hard to know how much you need to save.
Right. And that's why it's so important to have a really strong lender that can know how to help you structure both long and short-term financial goals, because PMI might not be that big of a deal to you, or it may be something that you absolutely don't want. But if you don't know if you can buy the PMI rate down and put that into your loan, there's a lot of factors that need to be discussed when you make this, and it's not that hard.
It's not. And you can go from, like if you're a veteran with VA eligibility benefits, you can do 0 down, and the seller can pay every closing cost for you, where you virtually move into a house with no money out of pocket. And then, if you're not a veteran, the next step up is there's both conventional programs with 3% down. Seller can pick up most of your closing costs, and then FHA's got 3.5% down.
And there's also programs out there that are for teachers and firefighters that give you a grant up to 3% if you qualify. So there are so many elements out there. Take advantage of these things, and don't get suckered in and think that it's beyond control.
And don't think the market's out of control anymore, because it is as good a time to buy a house. If you are somebody that's looking at a house and you don't know if you're going to be living there a year, maybe it's not a great time. If you're somebody that knows you're going to be in your home 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it's a great time to buy a house.
Absolutely.
So I hope you found this helpful. If there's any other topics you'd like for us to talk about, please reach out and let us know. We'd be happy to do that for you.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.